Okay, so all three next-gen consoles are finally out, and that means that all the marketing's over, and we finally get to see what they're all about. You know, no more just Sony and Microsoft telling us what they're gonna do. We're seeing what they're actually doing, and I'm gonna be talking about that in today's video. Let's get into it. So to start, I'm gonna talk about sales, but I don't want to dwell too much on it because I'm more interested in the actual consoles and games themselves. So both companies have said they've had record numbers for their consoles. PS5 said they sold already over 2 million. Microsoft has not released their numbers and they say they don't plan to, but that's already a good start for both consoles as expected. They are both very good consoles and I expect them to do very well. But I am interested to see how many of those actually went to people and not bots. I'm sure it's a good amount, but people are struggling to get these. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the actual consoles and games themselves. So, when we're looking about news about these two consoles, you have to be careful about what you see online, because of course there's fans of both sides that want the other side to fail. I don't really get it. I just like to enjoy whatever console I choose, but both sides have been faking videos of the other one not working. I've seen a video of someone saying their PS5 wasn't working, but you could clearly see it was just unplugged. I've seen the same for the Xbox Series X. Someone was actually vaping into their Xbox Series X to make it look like it was smoking, but I think that's just more funny than anything, so I don't mind that too much. But if we get into real news from actual legitimate publications, then we will start to see there were a few problems besides the usual defects, because not every console will work, because of course there is room for error, because they're not robots making these things, there's actual humans and stuff. So, you know, not everyone will be perfect, but it does seem like there's not too many that are breaking, just a few problems. So I gotta be careful what I say here because I don't want them to get mad at me, but it seems like the Xbox Series X problems are less about the console shutting down and breaking, and more performance problems. And the PS5, there have been some weird things with rest mode, where it permanently rests and it's just bricked. So, I'm gonna start with the Xbox Series X. So, you've seen all the marketing, and they kept saying this is the most powerful console in the world, but in some cases the PS5 has been outperforming it in third-party games, which is weird because of course they kept saying most powerful console in the world. So Microsoft actually responded to this and said that they were waiting for a certain processor, I think, I don't know too much about like the inside of these things, to come so it could perform really well. And because of that, the developers of these games do not have the consoles in time to really get it fully optimized, and there should be some more patches coming out to make it perform better. So that's been the only problem I've heard about really too much. Of course there are the defective units, but yeah, it's mostly been performance issues. It's not too many frames honestly, but for the most powerful console it is a bit weird, but it seems we found the answer. However, some people think it just could be something else, but we really don't know. I don't want to get into any conspiracies or anything. So now we're going to move on to the PS5. So it seemed like a high number of PS5 units were going into sleep mode and not coming back. It was kind of weird. I say high number, of course it wasn't the majority or anything, but you know, more than the average amount of defective units. I don't know what it is, it could have been a glitch, but they seem to have patched it out now, which is good. Of course, this is expected because they're new technology, and I think everything's good now, but there was a higher number of weird technical issues with the PS5s, but hopefully that's all patched now. It had like a problem where like if you go into rest mode with the console, sometimes depending on the game you were playing, it would just like stay in rest mode and you couldn't turn it back on. Kind of weird. But anyway, I hope that is resolved, and that was really the only technical issues with them. Of course you will see videos online where people are like, oh, mine doesn't work. And that makes sense because they're sending out millions of consoles. Of course, a few, maybe like 1%, maybe not even, will not work, but that's still, number's still gonna be in the hundreds even with that percentage, just because they're putting out so many consoles. So both consoles are good. Don't worry if you don't have one yet, yours is not gonna be broken. It should be just fine. So let's get into the reception of the games and other things with these consoles. Okay, so I'm going to start with the PS5 games because the Xbox doesn't really have too many to start with. So I would say all PS5 games were received pretty well. Some people complained of Spider-Man Miles Morales being a bit too short, but it was a cheaper game, and it does look better, and there are some improvements. People really liked playing as Miles Morales because he was really powerful, and they thought he was a better character than Peter Parker. So that game was received well. Demon's Souls, of course, was received well. Of course, it's really hard. Some people complain about that, but that's just the game. Nothing wrong with that. Asher's Playroom was actually a sleeper hit. People weren't expecting much, but the controller apparently made it really good. A really good game. I haven't tried it yet. I don't have a PS5, but people really liked that game. And Sackboy: A Great Adventure. You know, it was just Sackboy: A Great Adventure. They liked it. Fun game. Nothing special. And Bug Snacks. Well, that game, everyone was making fun of it, and everyone's just like, it's just Bug Snacks again, like Sackboy, nothing special. Some people thought it was really weird and creepy, which I guess makes sense. You feed these bugs to things, they turn weird. I don't know, it looked kind of weird to me, but it looked like it could be a fun game. So now we're going to talk about some of the Xbox games. Sorry, I actually forgot about Godfall on the PS5. Pretty easy to do, doesn't look like the best game. It's followed in the trend of trying to copy Destiny, which I already don't think is a very good game. A lot of people like it though. I'm not going to call it a bad game, just not for me. And you know, you had Marvel's Avengers try to do it, failed. You had Anthem try to do it, failed. And now Godfall is trying to do it but like medieval with swords and stuff. And again, did not do very well. So that's the only kind of next gen release with a bad review. But in general, I think they all got good reviews. You do have to remember though that these games, every time at the start of the generation, these games will kind of be forgotten about at the end because they just won't stack up to the newer games. So I'm going to go into Xbox now. So although Xbox did not have any new next-gen exclusives, they did have a few ones that finally came to North America or on console. For example, Yakuza Like a Dragon has been out for a while overseas, but it's now out here in North America, and that got good reviews on Metacritic. I think it got an 80. And what is it? Gears Tactics, not my type of game, but I think it's one of the best in that genre, so that also got very good reviews. It's been out on PC for a while, but they finally got it over to consoles to good reviews. So those are the only really two games on Xbox yet. I think the real test for the Xbox will be 2021. They're gonna have a lot of games coming, and they'll all be on Game Pass, which is nice. So I'm excited to see what they come out with in 2021. So now I'm just gonna go into the overall opinion of these next-gen consoles. So this is the thing, the worst part of this console launch is no problems with the consoles, no problems with the games. It is the scalpers and kind of the lack of willingness to deal with them from the stores and companies, because either way, they're getting the money. So I get it, but you know, there's a lot of people out there who really want these consoles for Christmas or just want to get them because it's a pandemic. We've got nothing to do, so these consoles are really nice, you know, a bit of happiness in the pandemic. But now these scalpers coming out here, there's one company that has 3,500 consoles. Like, there's even scalper groups working together to get them and sell them. That sucks. I don't know why they're doing this. Well, of course for money, but especially this year, it seems so unnecessary. You know, maybe one or two. Like, don't scalp any, but 3,500 seems absurd. So I really wish these stores would do something, you know, anti-bot software or something. But at the end of the day, they're making money from these scalpers. They don't care. I wish they had a bit more compassion than that. But, you know, it makes sense. So that's really unfortunate for everyone, like normal people just trying to get these consoles for their kids or for themselves. It is really unfortunate that these scalpers are doing that. So yeah, it's kind of put a damper on this generation. You know, it's like, oh, that's so cool. Maybe I'll get one day, you know? It's not like, wow, this is so cool, I can't wait to get mine. So I'm excited for this generation. It's kind of hard to get excited for it when you don't know if you'll get one this year or even next year. I don't know how long it'll be before it'll be easy to just pick one up in stores or online. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. Okay, in conclusion, I think both these consoles you're going to be happy with. What I would do is I would choose which exclusives you like more. Like, do you want Halo and the Bethesda games on Game Pass, or do you want like Spider-Man and God of War? It's up to you. In general, PS5, you get the instant exclusives, however you want to pay for each one. Xbox, you have to wait till next year to get some of those exclusives, but they will be on Game Pass right away. Which, if you already have Game Pass, like, it's free, and it is the best deal in gaming, but you will have to wait, of course. So, either way, you'll be happy. I think both are very good. And if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe, leave a like, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.